Alright boys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the start of a new mini-ish series, 1 episode a week, every Sunday night here, 8 o'clock. We're going to have the rebuild, and this season it is with Crystal Palace. Now, each season I like to do a rebuild. I think back in 2019 we did Real Madrid. They'd finished 4th, I think, in the league, so we had a lot of fun putting them together. Last year, because of the upset of Arsenal and FM20, we did Arsenal and kind of got them back on track. Today I've given myself a really big challenge. I mentioned Crystal Palace a couple of weeks ago. I'll put the link up in the description, up there. A video that I did, 5 teams that need saving. And Crystal Palace, even though they're a steady Premier League club, they've gone through a lot of changes this summer. Obviously, in real life, they've got Patrick Vieira now in charge. A lot of players have left. I'll put a little screenshot up now. This is what I had on day 1 of managing. 41 players, all contracts expiring at the end of the season. Now, I've decided to only keep one of them. So the other 40 of first team, 23s, under 18s will all get released. That means we need to start rebuilding straight away. So this series is going to work a little bit different. We're going to have one episode will be the start of the season, pretty much a little bit like today. We're going to go through the transfers and the changes that we've made. The second update for the season will be the January transfer window update. We'll probably then play a live com as well, so you get to see the boys in action. The third episode will be an end of season sort of like review, maybe even last game of the season. I'm aiming to do maybe 1 live com per game, per episode, 3 episodes per season. And then this series is not just going to be purely based on just watching the games. It's also going to be based on, obviously, the transfer rebuild, the staffing rebuild that we're doing as well, because the staff were not great. So I've already started doing that. And also, the rule that I'm keeping to, I must play with a low block. Now, in Football Manager, if you head over to FM Scout, even the tactics that I've done, I wanted to do something a little bit different. So the rule is, I can change formation, but I can't change anything from lower block and much lower line of engagement, okay? It must stay at that, which is making it a little bit harder, but so far, we've not done too bad. All right, boys, so that's a little intro. Let's now get into and see which players we're going to be losing at the end of the season. What I want you to do is smash a like on today's video for me. Subscribe if you've just come across the channel. Be muchly appreciated, but please smash a like on today's video. Right, so here we are. As you can see, there is a few players. These are our under 23s as well. Look at all these. So up until James Tompkins, all these are getting released. So we've got Batshuayi, who's on loan, Van Arnold, Hennessy, Cahill, Benteke, Joel Ward, Andros Townsend, Martin Kelly, Nathaniel Klein, Connor Wickham, Sam Woods, Luke Dreyer, Kieran Flanagan, and the rest are youngsters. Now, I've signed one to a new deal, and that was the youngster, Tyreek Mitchell. He was one of the players out going on a free, and I thought, right, a rebuild, come on, he's 21, he needs to be offered a new deal. He's done actually quite well, not too bad for us this season. So Tyreek Mitchell is the only one of the 41 that is getting signed on. Now, we have done some transfers. I've let go of Vince Guetta. First choice, obviously, at the moment at the Palace, but he had 2 years left on his deal, and we got 7.25 million for him. He was on 60 grand a week as well, so we got that off the books. We have got Jack Butland, who's a decent keeper. I do think in FM, you don't necessarily need the best goalkeeper, so I think for now, especially for this season, Jack Butland will be fine. English as well, which is always good. Stephen Henderson, backup goalkeeper, has gone. He was going in a contract at the end of the season, and Scott Dan as well. Contract was out at the end of the season, so we've let him go at what do we get? 700k for, and then a guy gone to Brentford who's 21 years old, a centre half who can't really head and mark and can't run. But Brentford, for some reason, snapped him up. So there's the outs. We have brought in a couple of ins. As you can see, all these are sort of like without me. Down at the bottom, I have brought in 2 centre halves. I'm starting at the back. I'm working my way forward if I can. And we've got in Anel Hamedovic, FM, bit of an FM wonder kid this year. We had to pay 9.5 million for him, a little bit more than I've paid in the past, but there was other clubs interested. I thought, right, let's just dive in with a bid that will see him see the club accept it straight away, which they did. And then I offered him a contract straight up. He only wanted about 25 grand. We offered him 60 grand, long-term deal, long-term aim to have him at the heart of the defence. Remember, we've got Cahill, who's leaving at the end of the season. There's also Sacco's leaving at the end of the season. Scott Dan was too old. Martin Kelly, I think, is leaving as well. So, yeah, we needed reinforcements ready for the new season. So he's in. And then we've also brought this guy in. Let me know if you've ever come across him before. Dino Peric. He's not had the greatest start to the season. I have altered a few things. It was his passing, which has let him down twice for 2 goals. He's given the ball to strikers twice, and they've run through and scored. So I'm trying to just make sure that he doesn't do anything daft with it at the moment. But £2 million from Dynamo Zagreb, left-footed, strength 16, 6'6", jumping reach of 19. What I like to see, heading 16, marking 15, tackling 17, aggression, bravery, determination 16. He's an absolute animal. 26 years old as well. He's happy being a fringe player, but I'm really wanting to see how he develops over the course of the season. So those are the 2 in. We've started the rebuild now. Have we got any money to spend? We've got 3.26 million, so we haven't got anything in terms of money to spend. We've obviously still got players like Will Sahara and things like that, so we've got a couple of superstars, but the squad itself is going to be very lightweight at the end of the season. There's Sacco as well. Look, his deal, 100 grand a week. So we've got a lot of money, a lot of wages there. All these are going to be released. We may even try and get out Miholovojevic. He's on 80k. A couple of other players like Riedeveld will probably try and sell on because I've got no interest in keeping him next season. And then a couple of others. Kayate was in... Blooming Valencia were interested in Kayate, and I didn't want to just transfer him and upset him, and they never ended up coming in with a bid. It would have been really good if we'd have got some money for him. Okay, so there's the squad. At the moment, we are rocking with a 4-4-2. We've tried a 4-4-2 with other roles. I've also tried a 4-4-1-1. I've also tried a 4-3-3. That hasn't quite worked. So we've gone back to a 4-4-2 where it seems to work best for the low block. I have been practicing the low block a lot. Tried to replicate Thomas Tuchel's 3-4-3 that I did in the Champions League final with a low block, what they won against City. And I've really struggled to get that going, even with some really good sides like Chelsea and Spurs. So I thought, right, let's do Palace. They're used to playing a low block. The board won't get as arsey with us playing a low block, and we might be able to work it better with a 4-4-2. Now, we've got plenty of options in the striking areas. We've got Matata. And at the moment, I'm playing Zahar up there because he looks very, very lively. Connor Wickham, Batshuayi, but none of them really want to work hard. Work rate of 7. Matata, work rate of 10. There's Ayew somewhere as well. He suffered another injury. 14 work rate, I suppose, so that's not bad. May try and even offload him if we can get some half-decent money for him. He's only on 35 grand a week, though, so he might be an adequate backup. But what I am looking at changing is having a go with 2 box-to-box midfielders. Let me know down in the comments what save you don't have to tell me what save you've got going on, but let me know down in the comments right now what midfield combination are you playing with. I do like a box-to-box midfielder, and I'm just thinking with the players that we've got at the moment in there, let's go with 2 box-to-boxes and see what they can do. 2 number 8s who are really working hard, winning the ball back, driving forward as well. And then we've got Matata, who only needs to play a few more games until we make his deal permanent. I think after like another 3 more games, we have to pay 13.25 million for him, which is a bit of a killer. But he's only young. He's only 23, finishing 16. Yeah, he's going to be maybe a poacher, advanced forward. He's got a little bit of pace, 16, target man. I think he's a useful option to have up there. If we keep going with a target man, which I am doing at the moment, he can do both roles, which I think is important. And then hopefully in the long term, we can look at bringing Zaha back down into the right midfield. So that's the playing squad. That's the tactic. We're looking at obviously shorter passing just to try and keep hold of the ball a little bit. I don't want to just pump it in the channels all the time. We're taking short kicks, higher tempo, running at defence because we've got obviously players like Townsend, Eze, Zaha, fullback as well in Mitchell, Van Aanholt, players like that to get forward. Taking short kicks, I'm just trying to, when we do get the ball, I do want us to try and keep hold of it as much as we can. And then out of possession, get stuck in, more urgent press when they get into sort of like our half, force possession out wide. And then fingers crossed, we've now changed these. These 2 are on just normal centre-backs. I'm just getting them to no-nonsense centre-backs. Defend, defend, defend. That's what I want them to do. get the ball to the fullbacks, get the ball to the wide players. Eze struggled a little bit. We've not seen. I'm just trying to find the best kind of role for him. Obviously, the 4-4-2. Inverted winger, maybe. We may look at him. I've got him as a wide playmaker at the moment. Some of that he can definitely do. I do like a playmaker. I was thinking that could maybe be him, but maybe we just go down the route as an inverted winger. Once again, let me know down in the comments what you would do. I am trying to just change it up a little bit. He's got Mitchell as well coming round him there, full back on attack. So yeah, he can maybe drift in and dribble into these areas, cause a threat. And then in the midfield, it's all just about strength, power, working hard, getting the ball back. There's Wilf Zaha, scored 3 goals for us this season. Looks pretty decent when he goes up front as well. Not the long-term position for him. He is wanted, Manchester City. If we can get something stupid for him at the end of the season, we may do that. It's all going to depend on how much money we get from the board to start the rebuild next season. We're going to have to look at freebies, I think, next year. Freebies and loanees, and really maximise them as much as we can to get us through that first big transfer window when, as I said, we lose 40 players across the 3 squads. Okay, staff-wise, we have made some big changes staff-wise as well. Staff was not great. It was not great. So we've let go a whole host. Obviously, there's Roy and his best mate, Ray. They've gone. Probably won't get another job now. Let go another few. And then I've done a whole host of the under-23s I haven't attached. I've got Dennis Bergkamp in as assistant manager. Not really too keen on it. I was a bit slim pickings, to be honest. But to be fair, attacking and technical, he's a brilliant coach. I am Roberto Baggio, of course. And then we got Paul McGuinness, the ex-Manchester United coach here. I imagine he's a very popular pick for coaches this season. This guy I've signed for years on Football Manager, ever since he got released by Brentford. Attacking, technical, working with youngsters, very, very good attacking coach. Anthony Colbert, old Arsenal fitness coach, I believe. Yeah, old Arsenal fitness coach. I think he left when Arsene Wenger left. James Beattie's in, not a bad attacking coach. Also, to be fair, he wouldn't have been a bad assistant manager, so that might be something we look at going down the line. Massimo Neri, another Football Manager classic, fitness coach, doing the job, and that's about it. So we've made strides in that area. Money-wise, we're not too bad. We've got 15 million in the balance. That'll obviously go down over the next few months and stuff, but it's not going to be too bad. We have got loan. It's only 17 million pounds worth of debt, but it's only replayable on the departure of the chairman, so nothing too much to worry about that. As long as we keep Premier League football, the board want us to develop players using the club's youth system, which we try. We have got a whole host of players that are not good enough, hoping that we get a really decent batch of youngsters this year. Play counter-attacking football, which we are doing. Sign players younger than 23. We've done that with Hanamovic. Sell players for a profit. That's going to be a struggle. Long term, it'll be fine, but this season it'll be a struggle. Avoid relegation, which is good. Reach the 5th round of the FA Cup. It'd be brilliant to do a cup run. We're still in the Carabao Cup. Oh no, we've just been beaten by Arsenal, sorry. And then it's just sort of like building up, record a top half, finish in 2 seasons' time. I think we've really got 2 seasons here of just building, getting the squad together, job security very secure. We are in November at the moment, and we have had an interesting start to the season. So we had a very good pre-season, scoring plenty of goals. These were like part-time. We went to Korea, I think, or something like that to do. Where was this? Yeah, Hong Kong. We played some games in Hong Kong. Not ideal preparation going to a COVID-hit Hong Kong, but never mind. But the results were good. A really nice result as well against Torino. Then we started pretty well in the league. A 1-0 win over Villa, penalty. A 3-0 win over Ipswich Town in the Carabao. Played a very strong side, to be fair. A 0-0 at Everton. We got a little bit lucky because Dakare got sent off after the first half. Millwall, we beat on penalties. We did make a few changes for that. And then we've beaten Wolves in the league, playing a 4-4-1-1. Kayate had been out all pre-season. I played him as a shadow strike and he scored within 2 minutes. I thought I was onto something. I wasn't. We managed to hang on though. They scored late on, not 65, but we managed to hang on for the last sort of like 25 minutes to get all 3 points. And then we had a bit of a stinker. We lost to Arsenal first in the EFL. Nothing to be sniffed at, but disappointing. Thomas Partey with 2 long-range efforts as well, which is a little bit disappointing because we played quite well. And then we've not disgraced ourselves. Chelsea away in the league, 1-0. Tino Werner penalty. They were obviously dominated the game, but we had a couple of sniffs. And the same with the Arsenal game as well, 47 and 75. Really disappointing. In between the goals, we had opportunities to get back in it. Man United did kind of wipe the floor with us. We were 2-0 down after 12 minutes. And then after that game, we've gone back to the 4-4-2, and it seems to have worked pretty well. A really good result against Leicester, a draw against West Ham. We're winning our home games, beating Leeds. There's Wilf Sahar getting a couple, and Andros Townsend getting one. Take the lead. Joe Willock did equalise. But I think positives to take from it is now we've gone to a 4-4-2. We're beating and not losing against teams in and around us. So Leicester, West Ham, Leeds and Newcastle. I think picking 8 points up from that month is not bad at all. We've got quite a difficult December with trips to Liverpool and Manchester City and a Tottenham game in there and another London derby in Fulham. But if we can just make sure we win the games potentially at Brighton and West Brom, get another 6 points on the board minimum, maybe a nick a point at Fulham, maybe even an away win. They're down in 15th. Who knows, maybe even a decent result against Spurs, who are 17th in the league. You never know. We might be in a chance of a decent top half finish. At the moment, we are currently 8th. There is a round of games to go. We've played our game on Friday night against Newcastle, getting a point. So we're not going to drop down. We'll drop down to 9th. So winning around sort of like mid-table. I'm not bothered about Europa League football at the moment. I think even next year, Europa League football is going to be really difficult. We don't want to be going down the route of playing Saturday, Thursday, with us having a brand new squad, maybe a little bit thin on the ground squad as well. We may not have the opportunity to sort of like sign 25, 30 players for a real assault on a European adventure just yet. So there it is. Let me know your thoughts down below. We're going to, just before we get into it. So currently these are the players that are interested in joining us at the moment, whose contracts are out at the end of the season. So Lundstrom, to be fair, might be a nice little buy. I think we will try and definitely do that in the January transfer window. Get him in on a freak. He's a decent all-rounder. We've got a couple of players, Kayati Milojevic, MacArthur, all sort of like 30 plus. He's only 26, so I think having him in the squad wouldn't be a bad signing. Alioski's a nice little one, very versatile. I think there's something that we could do. I'm not mind bringing him in on a free transfer. We're going to have to really do some wheeling and dealing. Fabian Schär, no, we don't really need under the centre half. Andre Ayew, he's the wrong side of 30, so I'm not going to bring him to team up with his brother. What's his brother called? Jordan, that's it, Jordan. And then a lot of the other players. I know there's a Boubacar, but I've had him already in a couple of saves. He's not done great in FM21. Andy Carroll, Atsu, player maybe Benassa. No, he's not great. There's a little bit of work to do. I'm really hoping that there'll be a lot of transfer listed players at the end of the season, because obviously a lot of these are getting to the age of sort of like 30s, and I don't want to be bringing in players that are 30 plus, because that just leaves them in the same place as what they are currently in. And then hopefully, it's players like Barry Douglas, not the worst, but once again, 31 years old. We are kind of covered at left back anyway. Mario Balotelli. Let's just get a scout report on him. Who would like to see Mario Balotelli in at the Palace next season? All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Smash a like on today's video for me. It's so important. New series. We get as many eyes on it as we can. Let me know your thoughts with the midfield combination. Has anyone ever tried two box-to-box midfielders in there? Let me know your thoughts. Thank you as well to all the Patreons. If you're interested in supporting the channel, it'd be much appreciated if you go check out the Patreon as well. Lots of little perks down below. And that's it. We'll see you next week. Sunday, we'll come back at the end of January. We'll do our first live com. We'll also see what wheelings and dealings we've done in a January transfer window to just try and get a few, maybe 1 or 2 players in, maybe even a loanee, just to get us through to the end of season 1. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you later.